Hi everybody, this is Cynthia Readings, and this reading today is going to be about the solar eclipse happening on the 25th of October in the sign of Scorpio. Now, before I pull cards for you, I want to give you some information on this, okay? So this is okay. First of all, eclipses are, it's like they push us forward, and it is a time for change, and it's time for radical change, okay? Now, there is a solar eclipse on October 25th, and then a lunar eclipse on November 8th, 7th, I believe, okay? So yeah, so this is happening in Scorpio at 2 degrees, and this is very, like, it is conjuncting Venus, okay? I believe all of them are at 2 degrees at this time, but there are other squares happening too. I believe Mercury is close to them as well. Mercury is in the sign of Libra right now at 22 degrees, or sorry, at that time when solar eclipse is going to happen. Now, the moon is in square with Pluto, and we also have Mercury squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a time where it's all about changes. It is really about where we need to make changes. And by the way, for you, especially if it depends where are your placements. Now, if you have Scorpio and Taurus placements, I would really suggest that you have a look at, your birth chart if you can. Even if you don't, let me just tell you that this is going to be impacting you the most. For Taurus placements, let me just say that it's going to impact more so like your physical, because Taurus is a fixed earth sign. And for Scorpio, it's more so like a self, especially if you're a Scorpio rising. It's even a Scorpio sun, it's more so like a self, okay? The changes that you need to make within yourself, okay? On emotional level. So this is also a time where there will be changes in money, in currency, okay? So as we all know what's happening in the world, okay? So if I look at it, in a broader like picture, that is where it's going to be impacting us the most. But I feel like even, as a collective, this is giving us a push forward to make changes in our lives. Now, this is again a time to step outside your comfort zone, okay? This is a time that you're ready to change. This is a time where some of you also need to challenge yourself, okay? Because, we know emotionally and, even physically the changes that we need to make, but sometimes we are in our comfort zone. Another thing I would touch is that this, solar eclipse is really about stepping outside your comfort zone and manifesting correctly. Because at this time, I feel like, especially with that Pluto squaring moon and then squaring Mercury, there can be, difficult conversations. There can be things, that we feel coming to the surface, but it's all about stuff that we need to change, having to learn the lessons the hard way and then moving forward. Okay, and, another thing I'm kind of getting here is that a lot of us are being pushed to make positive changes in our lives, okay? So if there's something recently negative that you went through, it's time that you learn your lesson and push yourself forward. Again, this is all about pushing ourselves forward, okay? Now, this is also going to be impacting us for almost the next 6 months. So this is not just our regular new moon and full moon stuff. This is like something very significant, and I believe last time it happened with Taurus and Scorpio axis, it was back in, I don't know, like 2012, 2014, and then back in 2003 and 2004. So if you remember what happened in your life at that time, good for you. I don't remember. I was a kid back then, okay? I am only like 23 years old right now, so I was in school back then, okay? All right, so let's see. So this Scorpio, solar eclipse is encouraging us to make the changes that are required for us to make important for our soul's growth, okay? And this is also important that we, it's also important that we pay attention to our behavior, self-sabotage, being lazy, procrastinating, or having plans and, purposely self-sabotaging yourself and your plans. This is about empowering yourself, okay? Now, of course, I'm going to go through all signs, but I'm going to give you a brief introduction before I move on to your sign, okay? Okay, now one more thing I'm getting here is that if you and somebody, you guys don't share the same values, if you guys are not on the same page, this is a time to understand where that person may be coming from, and if the vibe doesn't match, you need to let go of that person, okay? This is not a time to force things with other people, especially, okay? This is really about the depth, with the Scorpio. It's about intensity. It's about a call for change, okay? So Scorpio makes it all very intense and, adds depth to this. Now, this is also a time that we must release fear. We must release guilt and confront, okay? Sometimes we may not need to confront other people. We need to confront what we've been doing. We need to have a look at the mirror and really see what we have been doing, okay? So this is a time for you to have that, have a real heavy look at yourself with what you've been doing, where you want to be. Because again, like I said, the changes you're making now, they're going to be impacting you for the next 6 months, okay? Now, another thing I'm getting here is that this is about your shared resources. This is about money. This is about, like positive changes. So when you make positive changes within yourself, of course, they manifest in your life too, but this is something about money, luxury, things like that as well, with Venus being there, okay? Now, it all depends on your sign and where it's happening in which house and stuff, so I'm gonna get to that later on. But mainly, this is a solar eclipse that is helping us to strengthen even our intimate relationships, letting go of negative attachments. Like I said, what makes us truly happy, what makes us more fulfilled, okay? Now, this is also a time period to push forward towards new things, towards, finding new ways, and, letting go of the old. So it's pretty much out with the old, in with the new, okay? And also having a look at our addictions, okay? What have we been addicted to? What have, we been lingering on to, okay? So there's going to be new and potent energy. So I want you guys to pay attention to what you've been wanting to manifest, and of course check out your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture. I would suggest that you watch all 3 signs and then combine and get the message, but if you just want to watch one sign, then I would say watch your rising sign, okay? So to sum it up, this is all about, fresh start. This is about bringing that balance in our relationships, letting go of people who no longer serve us, letting go of codependency issues or just negative attachments, and having to let ourselves, get through that fresh start. So that is all that I have for you guys as an overall view for what's going to be happening for the solar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. Do give this video a like if you enjoyed this. And now let's move on to your sign. Hey everybody, this is Cynthia Readings, and hi Leo. Let's see what shows up for you for solar eclipse in Scorpio. So that is happening in your 4th house. 4th house is the house of home, family, environment, okay, also our emotions, okay. Now, Leo, this is really going to be impacting you as well, like I already stated in the intro video. Now, I said it's going to impact Taurus and Scorpio placements, but it's going to impact you as well because you are Leo, and Leos are ruled by the sun. So hence why, the sun card in Tarot. And, this is 5th house energy, okay? I do feel like there are going to be new plans, new things, new beginnings for you that will be on the horizon, okay? Again, this is a time for you to really have a look at what has been holding you back from thriving in your career and home-related matters, especially in your career. I feel like some of you need to make adjustments in the choices that you're making, and are those choices even helping you move forward in life and be at a place that you would like to be? So this particular eclipse for you, I feel like this is really going to be impacting your area of home, you know, family, things like that. So you know, attention can be brought to the matters of home, security, family, even your own emotions. Okay, now this is a great time for you to have a look at, you know, your sense of belonging. Okay, you know, also staying true to your roots, being grounded in your energy, working on your sense of security, sense of stability. Okay, so some, you know, change regarding your home situation could also be happening, like moving, renovating, or I don't know, like some of you are maybe thinking about a vacation or something. There's really something here about comfort and, you know, your living space. Okay, this is a great time for you to center yourself, and also, you know, a big focus on new jobs, or particularly focusing on bettering where you are in your life right now, especially when it comes to the matter of finances. I already told you something about moving houses, reorganizing, relocating, things like that. A balance in your responsibilities, you know, a balance between giving and taking. Now, having a look at your priorities as well. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say for you. What do we have for Leo, please? What do we have for Leo? What do we have for Leo, please? So we have indecision. We have patience, being more patient with the decisions that you're making. Also, if you're starting something, if you have just started to work on something, I would suggest that, again, you give yourself time and give the situation some time as well to kind of like form into something that you want it to be. It could also be about being patient with yourself. Publicity, fifth house energy, Jupiter in fifth house. So at this time, your work may be rewarded, and whenever this card comes up, it's like people are noticing you. So you're being noticed by people. Some of you may have Pisces or Sagittarius placements as well. Now, again, heightened sense of intuition and sensitivity for you, Leo. And another thing I'm really getting for you is that, you know, some of you may get a little bit indecisive when it comes to your partnerships, or when it comes to the people, you know, especially in your romantic partnerships. Some of you may be feeling like you're not getting what you want in your romantic partnerships, but really it's about readjusting or making the choices that are required to make. And, you know, sometimes we also have standards. We get very fixated on what we want and what we don't want. So I do feel like there's a little bit of indecision surrounding your love life. Okay, but again, it's about cultivating patience and being patient with yourself as well. Now, another thing I'm really getting for you is that there could be a Virgo or a Libra that you could be connecting with. But again, we are in Libra season, and Libra season is about balance. Okay, so some of you need to bring that balance into your life. Being patient with yourself, being patient with your routines, also working on your mental health. Okay, I do feel like there's expansion, there's growth for you. So it's all mainly a positive change. But again, some decisions take time more than the others. So consider that as well. Now let's see, what do we have for you, Leo? What do we have for you? Now you can have a look at your reading in depth. That is also up on my channel. Okay. Show me what's there for Leo, please. Show me what's there for Leo. We have guilt. Ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Are you doing it because you want to do it, or are you doing it out of guilt? Some of you are stuck in a situation where you don't want to be, but you're still finding yourself there. So self-worth, rediscovering your self-worth. I feel like there's a lot, like some of you are going to be in the limelight for something, or there's definitely like you being recognized for your work kind of an energy here. So again, it's about rediscovering that part of you, okay? There's like light being shed upon this, and then the publicity area. Some of you maybe work online, or you could have a public image, but again, this is about making choices, especially in your relationships. You know, some of you maybe like work a lot, and then maybe you feed your family and stuff, and you're the giver, and sometimes that can be draining, you know. But it's really important that you recognize your efforts, and you know, some of them, sometimes we don't really get enough back for our efforts, and sometimes we need to make certain changes, right? So this is about determining that, okay? I feel like there's a lot of like discovery of self here for you, Leo, particularly. Yes, it is impacting your house of home, relationships, partnerships, mainly home, but this is about who you are as well. You know, this is also an eclipse where with fourth house energy for you, it's about exiting your comfort zone, okay? Because the changes that we make in this time, they impact us for the next, and the changes that we make this time impact us for the next 6 months, okay? So that's it for you, Leo. Thank you so much for being here. Do give this video a like if it helped you, and check out your reading, like your full reading. It is also up on my channel if you're interested. Take care and bye-bye.